It's blueberry time in Oklahoma, and there's nothing quite as good as blueberries now and later on. Blueberries are one of the most interesting fruits as far as berries go, in that they last a lot longer than most others do. Most other berries will just keep in your refrigerator for a couple of days, but blueberries from harvest until use can be as long as 7 to 10 days, so that's quite an advantage. Now, when you're picking blueberries and getting ready to use them, you need to check them over for color. It's one of the true blue foods that we have, and when you look at them, you can tell a big difference in ripeness based simply on the color. If I can pick out two here that are in a little bit different stages, you can see obviously which one is more ripe and more mature simply by looking at the color difference between these two. Now, I generally think of blueberries used in baked goods, pies, muffins, blueberry buckle, and things like that. All very good and wonderful to eat, but I'm going to put blueberries into a different part of the menu today. We're going to use them in a salad. Now, the salad that I have today also involves other fruits, and it's fairly flexible like all salads. You can use what you have on hand. We have about 1/4 to 1½ cups of fresh mint leaves snipped, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and if you're looking at cutting back, I cut back from the original recipe, but you're welcome to cut back a little bit more. Also to that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of lime juice, and if you can get fresh limes, it's even better flavor, and because one of our next ingredients is going to be lime peel, you might as well use the fresh lime as well. To that, 2 tablespoons of sugar, about 1/2 teaspoon of freshly grated lime peel, and about 1/2 to 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And again, this is an ingredient that you could leave out if you chose to. These ingredients are simply whisked together until you have the solids melted or dissolved into the liquid ingredients, particularly into the lime juice here, since the oils will not absorb it, but they will help release some of the flavors from the mint. Now, to that, we're going to add about 1 3/4 cups, 2 cups worth of blueberries, 1 fresh peach cut up into bite sizes, or you could use a nectarine, whichever is available to you, and about 1/2 cantaloupe, and again, you could use other melons depending on what you've got. Now, over there, we pour in the salad dressing, and this one normally would let sit for about 30 minutes so that the fruits have a good chance to marinate. Now, I mentioned that the fruits are very good if kept later on and frozen. It's very easy to freeze blueberries. You spread out on a cookie sheet or a shallow pan, cover it with a little bit of wax paper, and then just spread the blueberries on it just like that. You do need to clean them first because they will be very difficult to clean once they're frozen. You'll be rinsing away some of the fruit itself. So clean them and make sure they're very, very dry at that point. Then slide that into the freezer, and when they're frozen solid, simply shake them into a moisture vapor-proof freezer container, a freezer bag, a freezer box, but something that will keep the moisture and the vapor out so that you don't get a lot of moisture collecting around the blueberries, which will deteriorate the quality during the freezing time. 30 minutes has now gone by. We then add that to some Bibb lettuce or some other very tender flavored lettuce and toss that together a little bit and serve it immediately. If you choose to use this for a main course salad, you could add to that a little bit of roasted chicken, and I think your guests are going to be just really impressed with what you end up with. Makes a great side dish and something a little bit unusual. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.